Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Frank's been bringing legal matters to the show today. Didn't go down too well. All right, we've got Frank, Nedum, Craig and Stevie here in the studio. Let's get started with the first question. 2 years ago, Liverpool were the best team in England and strengthened, bringing in a bunch of super talented players. They were heavy favourites to repeat, but it didn't happen. This summer, Arsenal are seemingly doing the same. So why might it be different for them?
Well, number one, Arsenal are making what, one change? Am I right? One change? In Guimaraes?
Maybe.
That's a big reason. You know, when you strengthen, one or two, in my opinion, is how you do it. Not 5 or 6. And I think the proof's in the pudding. Liverpool signed 5 or 6. And it completely disjointed all facets of the team. They've signed one guy. That's way easier and a way better way to do it, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, it's not about the amount, it's about who you sign in the right position.
Okay.
Yep.
Nedum, which Manchester team will finish higher in the table this season?
Which Manchester team will finish higher in the table this season?
I
think, to be honest, just put me in for never. I will never say Manchester United, even if it's the most obvious thing in the world. So I'm going to go for Man City, obviously, because I want to rip something positive, something good for the world. So yeah, I'm going to say City will finish higher than Man United.
Okay. Craig, you've described playing wing-back for Scotland as the graveyard shift. What made it so hard and what other positions would you consider the same?
Well,
How long's to go?
well, you're playing wing-back. You got no winger in front of you. You got no full-back behind you. You are the de facto winger and full-back. And if you've got 3 very experienced centre-halves, as we had then, who are got some nous about them, they don't tend to go out and cover the full-back area because they don't like to get exposed. Big Colin Calderwood, Colin Hendry, Tommy Boyd, let's just keep a narrow back 3, and you end up running up and down the whole flank, basically.
Right. When the ball's up there, I want you up there.
When the ball's on the left-hand side, make sure when the cross comes in, you're at the back post. And when the other team have got it on the right-hand side, when the cross comes in, make sure you're at the back post to defend that header. That's why it's a graveyard shift.
Stevie's laughing, you're laughing too, Frank.
Oh no! It's just I know Craig, and I know how hard he was on the field and how physical he was on the field. But I never seen him going back and forth, to the side, being ready to do that for 90 minutes.
I wasn't doing that for my club. I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
I never did it at Chelsea, and I certainly didn't do it at Celtic because I was playing central midfield and I was scoring goals. And that's the beef. I kept going into Brownie, the manager, saying, "Are you mad? Are you nuts? Play Jackie McNamara there. Play some." I used to say to him, I begged him, literally begged him. I said, "Play somebody else there." No.
Nedum, it brings up endurance. Which teammate of yours had the most endurance, who could run and run?
Oh gosh, to be playing as a wing back. Probably like a Gael Clichy, or to be fair, for a little spell, there was Silvinho. It was towards the end of his career for Silvinho, but he was great at that. But to make a point of somebody that wasn't, I think if you put someone like a Michael Richards at wing back, you're getting 45 top quality minutes. Then it's one of those. It's definitely one of those.
No, you get Stevie, you get quite shrewd about it as you get older. So I wouldn't do all that running. You just when you're a bit younger.
When you're younger, you just do it, right?
When you're the first 5 or 10 caps, you go in there.
As you're told.
First 5 or 10 caps, you go and you do as you're told. Keep your head down. Run up and down as much as you can. Put some crosses in. Make sure you're defending. Make sure you're available. All that sort of stuff. And then as you get a bit older, you get a bit wiser to. Well, I'm not going to bother this time. I'm going to do. And then when they're shouting on from the sideline, you've got 20, 25 caps, maybe a bit more, then you can turn around and say, get lost. But when you're young, you're like, oh my God.
Yep. Trying to impress. Okay, start, bench and drop. Greatest defenders edition. Franz Beckenbauer, Paolo Maldini, and Franco Baresi. R.I.P.
I never saw Beckenbauer play.
I'll tell you.
I saw Baresi and I definitely saw Maldini. I don't know. This is Stevie's.
That's a tough one, man. This is like. I mean, I would kind of go Beckenbauer, Baresi, and Maldini. And that's how harsh does that sound on Maldini? But I don't think there's been a better centre back than Franz Beckenbauer. I really don't. And Franco Baresi did the work of 4 people. We were talking about it the other day. You know, he not only did his job, but he also did the full-backs and the other centre-backs' job, because he was in charge of everything. And not only did he do their job, he also did the goalkeeper's job, because the goalie had nothing to do, because he made sure the ball never reached him, and he took care of everybody else in the defence. I mean, you're splitting hairs here, but I don't think there's been a better centre-back than Franz Beckenbauer. You talk about... If there was one thing he did that Baresi didn't do, Franz Beckenbauer could go up the other end of the field and put the ball in the back of the net. Baresi, I don't remember being able to do that. That's the only thing that separates the two of them, but I'm going Beckenbauer, Baresi and Maldini struggling up at third place.
Did you ever hear the Chris Waddle story about Maldini?
No.
They played at Wembley, England and Italy, and Maldini was a bit younger, but not young, and he was the best, arguably, certainly the best defender in Italy. Chrissy was telling it on a podcast once, and he gave him such a roasting, Maldini. Waddle gave Maldini such a roasting that Vialli and Mancini and all the bigwigs, might even have been Baresi, they were all stood waiting at the tunnel at the end of the game, shaking their head, said, "We've never seen anybody. I've never seen anybody do that to Maldini before." Chrissy was a great player, obviously. He absolutely tore him to shreds. Just things like you wouldn't think of something like that, you know. But it was.
I don't think I've ever played against anybody who could throw the shoulder and do you like Chris Waddle. And then he'd throw his leg, he'd throw his left leg over the ball as well. And you were like,
well, just when I saw Maldini's name there, I was like, obviously he was brilliant,
fantastic.
But they were actually waiting on him. And they were all shaking their heads. I've never seen anybody do that to Maldini before. Maldini was like, it was like something he'd been in like some sort of crash. He just was like, oh, it's not supposed to happen to me.
Frank, do you agree with Stevie on it being Beckenbauer, Baresi and Maldini?
I do agree. Even if I don't put Paolo Maldini in contest with Beckenbauer and Baresi because they weren't playing at the same position. Maldini was a left back, the greatest for me of the left backs I ever played against. But I put Beckenbauer because Beckenbauer knew exactly what to do with or without the ball. He was a midfielder before and dropped after at the end of his career, the middle of his career maybe, and he changed the view of that job we had to have as a sweeper, and he was my role model for sure. Baresi was, without any contest, the biggest conductor of a defense. And I agree with Stevie, the guy was capable of doing everything for the old defenders, Maldini included, and some others coming up and down. And I played against him like 2 or 3 times, and I was like a fan watching him. I was on the other side of the field, and I said, well, that guy, he's not even touching the ball, but he's the main man of that game. That's insane. But Beckenbauer, different class, different way of playing. He changed the job of a sweeper, scoring goals, and it was really somebody that you had to watch or watch videos after his career to know exactly what to do as a sweeper.
Okay, Nedum, next question. Which new manager will be under the most pressure this upcoming season? Maresca, Iraola, Alonso, Mourinho, Amorim, etc., etc. Another one that you may be able to think of.
It's a good question. I think I'm going to park the Premier League ones because I think some of those guys will be afforded time because I think they're kind of deserving of their post, relatively speaking, to the clubs that they're at. But I think the one with probably the potentially lowest stock at the moment without the history there is Amorim going to Milan. Because that feels to me like the one that could be great or could be a disaster. I think he needs to take some learnings for his time at United, the way he was handling the press, the players, everything overall. Because I think the Italians themselves, at times, they're not necessarily more welcoming to different sorts of thought about how clubs should be run, how teams should play, and so on. So if it doesn't match up and provide an identity which they can get behind, they're very quick to show you that they don't like it. So I think Amorim going there with his stock potentially not as high as he would want it to be, he's probably going to be guy under the most pressure, because if they play the way United did when he was last in charge, I can't see him staying there for very long.
Craig, which manager will be under the most pressure, do you think, this season?
I do. I mean, I agree with all that, but I think Mourinho, just because it's Real Madrid. I think there'll be a lot of people at Milan looking at that, the signing of Amorim, and thinking, why? Particularly if they've followed, which I presume they don't in Italy really follow Man United. They're so busy following their own team. But I think, Mourinho getting this opportunity that, well, let's be honest, he doesn't really deserve it, does he? He was sailing off into the sunset. Everything. Benfica was okay. I think they had an invincible season in terms of not losing, but they drew a lot of games and they didn't win the league, and he got sacked in Turkey, and all of a sudden he pitches back up because Florentino Perez doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just hiring and firing, and they're signing players. So I would say Mourinho.
Frank, so many French centre-backs at Chelsea over the years. Which is your favourite?
Frank Leboeuf.
The first one, by the way, we took the risk, but I would have to go for my teammate Marcel Desailly at first. He was the rock and decided to come over and ended up being the captain of Chelsea for many years. N'Golo Kante, Claude Makelele, I mean, that amazing.
Centre-backs.
Midfielders.
Centre-backs.
Oh, centre-backs. Now, really, right now, with all the French players that we saw coming as centre-backs, I wasn't impressed with anybody. I had hopes, especially from Fofana when he signed, but I will keep Marcel Desailly. I will keep Marcel Desailly for sure in the first spot, because the guy was just a monster.
Okay. Kay, with Boro adding 2 more Americans in Afton and Berhalter joining Aidan Morris and potentially giving them 3 American starters, what are you hearing from Boro fans about the additions and Boro's chances of finally getting promoted?
Go on, answer your own question.
Okay. It's Dan's fancy dress shot. There's a lot of excitement, because if they can emulate what Aidan Morris has done for the club so far and show that character and work as hard as Aidan Morris has, then, well, we've seen the signs of it today, because Berhalter
They talk down the barrel. Talk down the barrel.
Sebastian Berhalter had the assist today in the EFL Cup game, and he got player of the game, I think, but he was definitely one of the standout players today. They've all got the link from Columbus Crew in the past, and so, yeah.
Oh, I wonder
if they can emulate what Aidan Morris has done so far, and that chemistry can be...
How are they dealing with the culture?
What has Aidan Morris done, by the way?
Aidan Morris has been one of our best players since he came in. Yeah.
How are they dealing with the culture shock?
Yeah.
What, going from Columbus to Middlesbrough? Or the Whitecaps, I suppose, Vancouver. They'll love it. They'll love it. Aidan's obviously been able to tell them.
I wouldn't know.
Aidan, you know him.
Yeah, he should have been with the US men's national team in the World Cup in my humble
Save it
opinion.
for Football Americas.
I know, I might be getting invited on there now, because now all the US men's national team can come and support Boro.
After US.
Ask me, Frank. Go ahead.
I have a question. When the American guy, they come and is it hard because we have that in France with the accent, that the American people may not understand everything when Middlesbrough people coming from Middlesbrough speaks English.
Yeah, there's no chance.
Is that a difficulty
Are
for
you
them?
suggesting that even people from Middlesbrough struggle with English? Is that what you're...
What you saying, like, Frank?
Yeah, well, they have a little accent.
What's that
Little
place?
accent.
Tall trees.
No, what's the rough place? I mean, it's all...
At Middlesbrough,
It's all-
take your pick.
I mean, take you.
There's a load of them.
It's all relative.
You've
Oh, where the
been
women
anywhere.
have a fight. What's that?
Stockton.
Stockton on
That's
tees.
next to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it's part
That's all the same.
Stockton on tees. Oh,
Anyway, I'm delighted to see it, and hopefully we'll get some more Boro fans.
so if
from
you
this
don't get
side
if
of
you
the
don't get
world.
promoted, you blame Americans. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
fair
can.
enough.
I can go on Football Americas and have a rant. So yeah, feeling good about it, feeling excited as it
for you.
stands so far. All right, thank you so much for sending in your questions. We will be back tomorrow to do it all over again.